New Magic Keys, discounted tickets, big crowds, and the literal impossibility of ordering a sandwich at the Jolly Holiday, plus some Q science and fried chicken. This is our State of Disney report. This is Fresh Baked. This report coming to you on our usual Monday. It is 11:18 in the morning. It's about 72 degrees out, very toasty this afternoon. Actually, temperatures are going up. We're gonna see temps in the 80s in a week or so. So it is not the frosty afternoon that I was hoping for. The holidays are obviously better when it's nice and crisp and frosty out, but we're getting a toasty afternoon here in Southern California. Thank you guys for joining us on this State of Disney report. I am your host, David. If you're new to this show, if you're new to this report, our State of Disney report is a state of what's happening at Disneyland today. We're gonna go through the entire park, every land and every attraction, fill you in on some news that's happening around the park, check in on some queues, do a little queue science, a little park science, show you guys how busy it is in here, the crowds, my gosh, which I can already feel. Look at this. It's really, really intense. I mean, the energy's super, super high though. People are really happy to be here, I can tell. There's a lot of positive energy flowing through this crowd right now, but there are a lot of people in here, and I think we're gonna be in for one. We're gonna talk about that in a second when we look at the reservation calendar. But the forces are aligned on this day for a pretty busy afternoon, I think. But I'm already having that feeling, right? I'm having multiple feelings actually right now. Excitement and happiness and joy to be here during the holiday season, but also a little bit nervous about what we might encounter. We saw some dastardly queues 2 weeks ago, some real diabolical stuff. Hey guys, how are you? Hi guys. Hi. We saw some real crazy stuff a couple weeks ago. Will we find it again? I don't know. Let's get back up to the top of the town square and Main Street Disneyland Railroad, and look at the tip or the reservation calendar. I cannot speak. I think it's going to be a humdinger of a day today, Fresh Baked. And you might be surprised to hear that the calendar is actually better than what we saw 2 weeks ago. The calendar is actually kind of okay. Today is sold out. Now, here's the interesting thing. Today is sold out. You can't get a single day ticket. You can't get a reservation on Magic Key. So this is going to be another sold out day, just like we saw 2 weeks ago, max capacity. Today, though, is tiered, what do they say, 2? It's $149 today. $149 today. Tomorrow, it goes up to $169. And I don't have prices on this one, but the prices are going to start going up this week and in the next week. But today is tier 2. Tier 2. They think it's a not busy day. They think this is the kind of day that people don't want to come to Disneyland. So they're calling it tier 2, $149. I didn't think there was going to be a single date on the calendar for that price point in December. I haven't looked at it in a minute, but that's pretty incredible. So that's kind of a surprise. Not surprised that it's sold out today. The rest of the month, by the way, is pretty good. The only date that's looking bad is the 13th for a DCA start. No big deal. Let's look at Inspire Key first for December. Now, last week we said there were 15 consecutive days. 15 consecutive days that were sold out. So this week is not as bad. We have 6 consecutive days. Then Sunday is okay for a DCA start. 15th is sold out. 16th DCA start, and then the rest of the month is open for Inspire and Believe Key, and then everybody is blocked out starting on the 22nd. All keys are blocked out. But the reason why those dates are available 16th through the 20th is because the lower level tiers are blocked out now. So it's just Inspire and Believe who can get into the park today or this week. So that explains why this week is sold out, but next week isn't. Though next week I do expect to be quite competitive, and I do expect to see. I've often wondered, at first I thought, that what's going to happen to Disneyland when the Magic Keys aren't allowed in, 22nd through the 20. Let's just call it 22nd through the 25th. Those days leading up to the Christmas holiday. I asked that question a couple years ago, and I found my answer. Packed as hell was the answer. We're going to be in the park. We got a kind fan of the show has gifted us a couple tickets for that period, so we're going to be able to get into the park during the blockout period, and I'll be able to show you what it looks like, and it's pretty dastardly. I know that one year was. I'm trying to recall last year. I think it was less busy than before, but still packed. There are lots and lots of single and multi-day ticket holders looking to come to Disneyland during that week. It is not a dominated day by Magic Key holders. With that, let's let's get back in the park, let's get back to work. So $149 gets you this park today, which is pretty incredible for the single day ticket. I'm almost astonished that they don't include this in a higher tier. Now that's a great deal, but there's also, I don't know if you guys remember or know even, today is December 8th, but 5 days ago, Disney started selling a discounted ticket for California residents, which is just the most incredible offer that I can ever. We did a whole video on this on Fresh Baked Presents because it was just amazing. That they announced this a while back, but it finally started going on sale on December 3rd. They're selling a 3-day park hopper, which, by the way, if you were to get a 3-day park hopper for $249, 3 days for $249, unbelievable. That's a park hopper. If I were to buy a park hopper today for today, it would be $220 for 1 day, I think. I don't know, how much is the park hopper now? 60 bucks, I think, a single day? Oh no, $210 because it's $149. I was thinking it was $169. Whatever. You compare that to any other day, even tier 0, you're getting a discount. And that's for January 1st through May 21st. So this is a whole stretch. The entire rest of winter, all of spring, and then heading into almost the summer season. May 20, that's 5 months. 5 months. It competes with Magic Keys almost. I know of a few Magic Keys who maybe don't use the maximum days like I do. It's obviously not a good deal for me, but there are lots of Magic Key holders who are saying, nope, I'm going to pass on that. I'm just going to get that 3-day park hopper and go a few times and be happy with that. It's a great deal, a great option for those of you who don't want to go all the way to Magic Keys. That's awesome. By the way, you can get those through Getaway Today. I'm sorry to do a promo this early in the show, but I mean, it's very reasonable that I should be doing it here right now. But if you can buy those tickets at Getaway Today, or anything else you want to get. If you want to buy for later in the year, plan a trip, get hotel reservations, all that stuff, Getaway Today. Super nice, super friendly folks. We love them. Very knowledgeable. We make all of our plans through them. Link in the description. And that's it for our promo on this one. Let's get into some park science. Let's get into the park. Let's take a look at Adventureland. Oh, and before we continue, hi guys. Before we continue, let me also remind you, I'm going to have a conversation. I know you guys may have heard, there's a new Magic Key coming out, the Explore Key. We're going to have a conversation about that and what it means to park guests and why they're doing it and how it affects you and me. Stay tuned for that. We're probably going to get into that, I'm going to guess, somewhere around Galaxy's Edge. So keep watching. Now, we are going just slightly earlier than typical. It is 11:24 as we approach Adventureland. Normally, I try to start these shows, start them at like 11:30, 12 o'clock, because I want to catch the crowds at their peak so that we can get an accurate representation of how things really are. We got a little early today, but that's okay. The park is already packed anyway, so we're not missing anything. But yeah, it's 11:25 now as we approach. And I can already feel a lot of pressure coming out of Adventureland. This is going to be a day, I think. Wow. I don't see the queue up there, which is a good sign for Jungle Cruise. Again, it might be a little too early for that, but 2 weeks ago we saw the queue up there. It may wind up there. It's actually out here. That's cute. No, that's not cute. That's cute. No, that's not cute. There is no queue. Okay. It looked like they were posted. This is how busy it is right now in this walkway to Adventureland. I can't tell guests from queues. But no, there is no queue poking out here. It's at 30 minutes right now, Jungle Cruise is. Standard setup over here on the left. And they are fully occupied over there on the right. Still though, this is going to be one of your best values in the park today, doing rides like Jungle Cruise. This is going to be a great value for you. We mentioned that in our update last week or 2 weeks ago, that when the park is like this, when the park is at max capacity, which today is a max capacity day, there are no tickets available to walk up. There are no reservations available for Magic Keys, so we're at max capacity today. When it's days like this, that's when you want to, if you can help it, focus on the non-Lightning Lane attractions. If you can, and then just look for opportunities throughout the day where you maybe do take on those Lightning Lane attractions, but especially right now in the middle of the afternoon, this is not the time to be getting into queues like Indiana Jones. It is posted 50 minutes, which is kind of a shock, kind of surprised that I'm seeing that considering where the back of the queue is. They're doing that thing again. They're sending that into the old Fast Pass station. Single rider still available, by the way. I think that's permanent now. they've officially said we're a go for single rider, but you see a queue out here like this on the rail next to Jungle Cruise. That's not a good look. You don't want to see that. I probably don't have to go to the back of the queue, but I'm gonna go check anyway because, I don't know, I'm sick like that. They are not up there though. Hey guys, they're not up there in the Jungle Cruise, whatever you call that section, that little overflow section. They're not up there though, so that's good. But indeed, that is a full to the brim queue here at Indiana Jones, but I do see a lot of movement. That's pretty good. I do see some guests moving through there. It doesn't look too staticky. You can see that the Lightning Lane is back to just about there, so that's not bad. Lightning Lane is not crushing the queue at the moment. But look at all that. That's an excellent sign right there. All that movement up there. Hi guys. Very good look up here. So that's probably why it's 50 minutes, because it's moving very, very well. Well done, Dindy. Or maybe the queue's not that full because look at, again, Bengal Barbecue. My goodness. Bengal Barbecue that's 30, 45 minutes probably. And again, I'm going to say this every week just for all the folks who need to be reminded. Bengal Barbecue is dominated by mobile order. There is one window for standby. All those guests have to go to that window right there. All these other windows are reserved for mobile order. Meanwhile, peep that wait time on the mobile order from Bengal Barbecue, 10 to 25 minutes. So you can place an order right now and have it ready-ish in 10 to 25 minutes. You would, if I placed the order right now, if I just stood there, placed the order and just stood there as if I were standing in the queue, I would get my food before those guests in standby will. It makes sense to use standby or to use mobile order. Now, I will say oh my God, I got to tell you about this story. We mentioned this in our construction report on Monday. We were here on Friday and the park was packed on Friday as well. Walked by Jolly Holiday and I saw this huge, huge queue of people in standby, and I thought to myself, those guys should be using mobile order, right? So I wanted to do a demo. It was at 11 o'clock, I think it was, and there was the whole day, the entire day was sold out. The return time was never. The return time was tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that can't be right. So I kept, swiping and trying to see if I could refresh it, and eventually I did, because people cancel, right? So even though it says there's none, if you keep waiting, one will pop up because somebody canceled. So I got like a 10:30 or something like that, 10:30 p.m., 10:30 at night. And I tried to get that down to something earlier, but I wound up getting just 9:30 and I gave up. But that was my, I met the kryptonite, I guess it was, Jolly Holiday perhaps. But mobile order works, guys. Do it right now, you get your food in 10 minutes. It's a breeze. And while I was doing all that, I was walking amongst this sea of guests flowing from Adventureland into New Orleans Square, and it reminded me of the old days when this was probably one of the biggest pinch points right here, especially going the opposite direction. For some reason, it was even scarier going the other way. Well, actually, no, going that direction that I was just going. This way's not so bad. It made even worse because there was that giant tree here. We talked about that last week, I think it was. But this is a very, very busy crowd that I'm walking amongst right now. Very intense. Hi, guys. And I can see up there, Pirates Queue is up on the bridge, as that should be expected on a day like this. The expectation should be, again, no discounts, especially on Lightning Lane attractions, no discounts. Don't think you can go out and find a 20-minute wait somewhere. Jungle Cruise is about as close as it's going to get. Pirates of the Caribbean will probably be as close as you're going to get. Now, it's posted right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's posted at 35 minutes. We've got, this queue is now out into wild space a little bit. There's two roped queue switchbacks back there, but the inbound queue, hi guys, the inbound queue is loose. It is uncontained in wild space. Let's see how far that goes. Boy, it's a long stretch. Oh boy, and this is why it's difficult to, we say often, why this becomes a really bad pinch point on days like this, because now our path here is compressed. It's shrunk by at least one shoulder, maybe more. Let's see. Okay, there's the back. That's the back of the queue. They don't have the piratey guy with the sign, but that's the back of the queue right now. That's not bad. Let's see where this goes. We found this to be meeting. Actually, that would have been the queue, so it's not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago already. This queue was all the way over there towards Haunted Mansion 2 weeks ago. So it does seem to suggest that we're not quite as bad as it was 2 weeks ago, so maybe it's still plenty busy though, plenty busy to, you know, make you nervous.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, they're not even using these switchbacks right here, so we're good. Pirates is nothing. That, you guys, is your discount for the day. Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, Mark Twain, Monorail. Those are your discounts today. Now, it's only 11:36, but I do want to take a quick pass through Tiana's Palace. They're at home, thank you. Yeah, they're at home and school. So we might not see a big crowd in here. Oh my God. But we did. We found the back of the queue already. They're working just one side. They're working only the right side. They're not working the left side. But at 11:36, this is a pretty happening queue. And this is something that I've been finding often when I come to the park on busy days, where the standby queues for the rides aren't terrible, but man, is it hard to get food, just like I was talking about with Jolly Holiday. Just imagine waiting, well, I mean, you're not gonna, but a 12-hour return time for Jolly Holiday. I can't even get over that, I'm still thinking about it. Quick scan of the tables out here, and I don't really see any, no, that's not an empty. Somebody's, well, I don't know if that's an empty right there or not, but probably not. Looks reserved in some kind of way. But yeah, no tables out here at 11:40 now, 11:38. Hey guys, at Tiana's Palace, and no tables over here either. Man, so far busy park and busy with the fans today. I have taken like, I've taken like 24 photos and I've signed an autograph book. It's a good day so far. Okay, Haunted Mansion is next. Good sign out here. This is not even a problem. So again, it's like super packed, but it's still, I feel like it's still manageable. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people here in the park, but I feel like maybe most of them are in the Bengal barbecue, Tiana's Palace queues. That says 65 minutes. It is not, and I'll show you why. And all it takes is just a little bit of diligence to learn or to figure out, you know, what you're looking at. They're not sending the queue to the left. They are sending, they're in Leota's garden. Let me just take a peek real quick. We'll just act like we're getting in its queue for a second. They are in Leota's garden, and it's not all the way full, but this is definitely not too bad. I've seen worse. And then, more importantly, we need to check the greenhouse. And I may have to rescind my statement, because not only are they in the greenhouse, they're out here into bonus queue. They've built a queue that didn't exist a couple hours ago. They built this extended queue out here to house this overflow of guests. So that's the reason why they're not in that side of the house, side of the garden space, is because they're out here instead. So they're expecting more even. They're expecting this to get even worse. And I don't blame them, to be honest, because at 11:43, this queue should get bigger. We haven't even hit the max crowds yet. So maybe that is 65 minutes. I was encouraged by seeing that lack of, you know, a collection of guests out there as you approach the threshold. Normally when you see that space, that's a good sign that you're not going to have a big queue, but this might actually be a 65-minute queue. My goodness. This right here, that's what I'm talking about. And when you see it open like this right here, that's unusual for a day as busy as it is today. But that's because they sent them all that way. There it is. There's that other discount I was talking about. Look how empty that boat is right now. Why are you not on the Mark Twain right now, Fresh Baked? If you're here in the parks and you're in the Indiana Jones or Haunted Mansion queue, don't you just wish you could be taken? This is as good or better than anything else you're going to do in the park. Mark Twain is absolutely spectacular, and it's a good 20-minute ride, you know, all in, between sitting around chilling. Hi guys. Chilling while you're waiting for the boat to take off, plus the tour. It's a nice slow tour, good music, good narration, and it's a good, you know, good views. It's awesome, man. Go get on the Mark Twain. And you know what? If you can't get the Mark Twain, get on the Columbia. Well, so what is that? That's 4 attractions down. I'm feeling pretty good about this day. It is very busy. Still feels manageable. That's 65 minutes. I think you could feel pretty good about that. That's not too bad. Haunted Mansion right now during the holiday season is always a huge hit. So there really is no opportunity. Maybe actually what you do is you save Haunted Mansion for tonight. Are they doing? No, they're not doing Fantasmic tonight. Okay, so let me talk about that, because I was supposed to do that back there when I was in front of the Pirates. If you're interested or want to know, Fantasmic has been on a limited schedule for a while. It used to be 2 shows nightly, every single night, every single day, 7 days a week. But recently they trimmed that calendar down, and it's now running on just, well, actually it's now 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but before that it was just Saturday and Sunday. Or was it Friday and Saturday? I can't remember which. But they were down to, well, they're at 3 days now, so they're not showing Fantasmic tonight, so that's not going to help you. I would say get on Haunted Mansion when Fantasmic is going. But that calendar that's going to change. They're going to start going to nightly shows. Let me just check my notes here to make sure. Yeah, nightly shows start on Monday the 22nd, the week of Christmas. And that's going to happen for 2 weeks. And then they'll end that nightly run on January 5th at the end of the holiday season. So right now, it's such a bummer, man. I just, it has to do almost entirely with the quality of the show that they are able to put on, which is not very good. Although it's been better. They've restored Pyro. They restored the Mickey that goes from the main stage up to on top of Lafitte's Tavern. So it's getting better, but I feel like they're just trying to limit their exposure on that. So right now, so look for Fantasmic to go nightly starting December 22nd, and that'll run through January 5th, and then they're back to 2 days a week. All right, now I'm expecting a lighter crowd than we're seeing at the rest of the park here at Tiana's, but I'm not getting that. 55 minutes is the posted wait time right now, 55 minutes. The garden is empty. The garden is empty, which is good, but 55 minutes is a pretty lengthy wait time for Tiana's in December, although again, as I mentioned, it's kind of toasty today. It is now presently 75 degrees. It's getting even warmer. I think it might get up to 78. But that looks like about a 55-minute queue. We actually did a video, I'm not sure if, I think it's been published already, about the one tip video, about the one thing that you can learn to do that would change the way you visit Disneyland, and that is sort of watching these queues, watching them to see if they're moving, how dense they are, like what's the texture of the queue. Like they're kind of posted. This queue right here is kind of posted. I don't like the look of that. We did this attraction. It was posted 45. I didn't like it. I would have said that's probably a no-go. I didn't like the way the crowd was moving, and it wound up being exactly 41 minutes, I think it was, where the rest of the queues were coming in under, which is typical. Usually you come in under. And this is, again, Tiana's is like this. Tiana's is often like this, where it gets really sticky and you just feel like you're going to be in this queue all day. So they're calling this one 55, and they've got it out here in extended 1 at least, which is a good 7 to 10 minutes. Your results may vary, but that's about 7 to 10 minutes that you'll wait in this particular stretch. They are not in extended 2, so that's good. Extended 2 being this queue that wraps around that tree right there. Not in extended. Hey, how are you? Hi. Let's see. Let's just take a look at how the queue's moving here. Are actually seeing? Oh no, that's Lightning Lane that's moving up. Psych. Nope. Standby. It's just they move forward like 4 or 5 people, and that's about it. So it's a slow-going queue here at Tiana's Bayou Adventure, reinforcing again that we are in a busy day. By the way, I was placing a mobile order. Let me update you on this whole mobile order thing. I was placing a mobile order for lunch later today at Docking Bay 7, and I checked in on Jolly Holiday because they've got a Thanksgiving sandwich, turkey stuffing. Oh my God, I have to get that, but I can't. They're sold out again. Same exact thing that I was just talking about over there in Adventureland. It's sold out again. There are no return times for mobile order right now for Jolly Holiday. I saw it was 11 and a half hours, and then it was gone. And by the way, and I can't believe that Bengal is still in the 20-minute range, but I saw other ones that were like 4 or 5 hours from now. It is hard to get food today. Let's take a quick walk through Critter Club. See how merch is doing. They're selling food. Are they selling merch? Actually, no. It's actually not too bad in here. This is pretty chill. Not bad at all. People are passing right through, as a matter of fact. Passing right through and heading to the other side, perhaps. A little more busy here to get your treats, your sweet treats, which makes sense. I wonder what they're baking back here. Should we go look? Oh, she's doing a little artistry. She's making happy faces on the Mickey. I guess those are going to be Rice Krispie treats, I'm going to assume. I think. They're in various stages of production. Those need chocolate and sprinkles. There's your sprinkles. And then they get the happy face. Pretty intense here though, otherwise at Pooh Corner. Hi guys. Let's go see what the 100-acre wood looks like. River's flowing. Have yourself an exciting game of Pooh sticks on the river. The waterfall is flowing, which means the river's going to flow. When the waterfall doesn't flow, the river is stagnant. Not quite as enjoyable, but this looks great. One of the supreme scenes that you'll find anywhere in Disneyland. It's one of the most underrated, overlooked situations. The attraction, whatever, you can make your judge or make your opinions on the actual attraction, but this little 100-acre wood scene is just absolutely delightful. It's what draws me back here. So I want to put eyes on this and listen to that delightful music. Winnie the Pooh is an absolute treasure. That's why they didn't convert this whole thing to Tiana's, because she can't compete with Winnie the Pooh. I mean, maybe her ride can, but it's just a small little dark ride. Her ride can, but her merch cannot. Her merch cannot compete with Winnie the Pooh. Queue's not too bad right now for the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh. It's at 25 minutes posted. Back to the queues right here at the threshold. That's not bad. Let me fix my camera a little bit. There we go. This thing has a mind of its own sometimes, Fresh Baked. If you're interested in the Pocket 3, it has a mind of its own. It looks like the queue is busy. They've got it in some of the extended sections, but nothing like what we saw before when it was all the way out here and going all the way to Pooh Corner down that way. But it's empty here. They're using just this little switchback right there. That's a breeze. This is one of the best discounts you'll get all day right now, and one of the best 30 minutes you'll spend in the park here in Critter Country, or Bayou Country. I still call it Critter Country. I can't help it. Before we head into Galaxy's Edge, let's jump in real quick to Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree to check in on how busy it is here. And anytime you see that standby queue come down the ramp, you know you're in for a bit of a wait. We mentioned this though, or we tried to last time here, and I feel like this, I have to change my opinion on this. We may have to do a little more recon here, but this could be maybe as little as 20 minutes. Maybe it's because they've got multiple windows. They got 2 windows taking orders here instead of 1, which cuts your wait time in half. If you were to take this queue and send that over to Bengal Barbecue, whole different proposition. Let's see. And it is prime time right now. It is 12:03. People are starting to get their lunches going, as I did. By the way, I worked mine down. I got a mobile order for Docking Bay 7 at 1:30. And while I've been filming, I've been negotiating with the mobile order app. Aggressive negotiations. And we're down to 12:20. So we shaved an hour and 10 minutes off our return time. I'm not seeing a lot of demand. It is full back here. This is usually one of your go-to places where you can always find a table.
Follow him.
And we still haven't found one yet. Hi guys. Oh, there's one. We got one right there. And one more over here and one more over there. So yeah, you have to keep going all the way to the back to find one. I'm worried though about Docking Bay 7 because it is very difficult to find a place to sit and eat in Docking Bay. Even though it is one of the bigger dining locations, I expect we'll have a hard time there, but let's wait on that and check in on Rise of the Resistance, which I expect to have a healthy wait right now. Well, yeah, it's not great. Anytime you're in Section 4 back here, you're expecting something of at least an hour. That's at least an hour right now if you're in that queue. But they're not using all of Section 4, so, I mean, there's that, I suppose. I'm not sure how excited that would make me. That's maybe a 5 or 6 minute addition there if you're using all those switchbacks back there, but it looks pretty full. Let's see if we can't spot any movement. There's tracking a little movement back there, but this group is standing fairly still. I don't know, man. It doesn't look good. There's more standing than moving, that's for sure. And the movement is minimal. It's not like a river like we're hoping for. As a matter of fact, like this whole section, there's the movement down there, but then you don't see any more No more movement until you get over there all the way back to section 3, which again is moving just slightly. This is moving obviously, but these guys haven't hit the back of the queue yet. So this is not a good look right now for Rise. I would expect that posted wait time to be somewhere in the 80-minute range, considering we haven't seen Lightning Lane yet. Wow, I'm kind of shocked. It's just at 65. I'm a bit surprised because it might actually be all of that 65 minutes. Nobody in Lightning Lane though, that's good. We like to see this section right here empty as much as possible. You want to see this 100% empty when you come by here. There are a few guests. I'm seeing a couple there, a couple over there. 2 more just walked in. You want it to be like that as much as possible. Always put eyes on the back of the queue, figure out what section you're in. Always put eyes on Lightning Lane to see if there's any sort of interruption in the flow there. If you see even 30 guests, that's going to cost you. Now 30 seems like a lot, but it could be worse. You can see 100 or 200 in there. I've seen queues for Lightning Lane at Rise that come out of the threshold and down that way. Well, we're talking, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. Usually that is a result of at least one breakdown, maybe 2. For now, we should be right on time for our lunch date at Docking Bay 7. Let's go get some tip yip. Low-key shocked that we actually found a table back here, a good table for us to do both our tip board and our lunch. And we did in fact get the Endorian fried chicken tip yip. By the way, tip yip means chicken, so it's chicken. It's crispy chicken, roasted pepper mash, country gravy, charred broccolini. I love a lot of those words. I love fried chicken and I love country gravy. Although it looks a little light, I must say. Well, okay, so at first I thought that, I gotta shoot that because at first I thought that was the mashed potatoes. That's the country gravy. That is the mashed potatoes. So that is an ample amount of gravy. I would have preferred, a little bit more mashed potatoes, but still quite a bit of gravy there. That's gonna go good with both the mashed potatoes and the chicken. Well, heck, and the broccolini. Right off the bat, there's your chicken. And it's boneless, right? So, when we compare this to, let's say, the fried chicken at Plaza Inn or over at Flo's, it's the same. Flo's chicken is the same as Plaza Inn chicken. That'll be the main distinction. But let's talk about flavor. You know what? It tastes fine. But I do kind of miss the bones. Why is that, I wonder? White meat chicken there. Very tasty, very flavorful. The breading, the actual fried portion. Actually, I wouldn't mind if that was a little more crispy and a little bit more saltier. Maybe they're a little light on herbs and spices. The Colonel might use, 7 or 11? 7 herbs and spices, 11 herbs and spices? I don't know. They're not using that many here, I don't think. Now, let's get into those mashed potatoes and that country gravy. There we go. Get a little bit of both. That's pretty good. I'm gonna get a little more gravy on this bite because I want to separate that from the mashed potatoes. But the mashed potatoes are more than tasty enough. The country gravy is good. Nice texture. Tastes like country gravy. But again, I feel like it could benefit for maybe just a little bit more salt. Broccolini. That's actually the best part of the meal so far. And I'm not a vegetable guy. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Chicken, country gravy. Cheers. That's an improvement. Always put country gravy, yes. Gravy, yes. Always. Yeah. I kind of miss the bones though. I feel like I shouldn't. I'm not supposed to, but it's better. It's better on the bone. Why does that confuse me? I mean, it's still plenty good. I'm still enjoying this quite a bit, but it's not getting into the 4.5, 5-star type territory. We're not in there. It's a good passable meal, especially if you're into like you know, comfort food and that kind of thing. At the price point, $15.99. I mean, you're getting almost all protein on that chicken, so that's pretty good. And a decent supply of mashed potatoes. I would say that I will finish this, which is unusual. I usually don't finish my meals. I will probably finish this, so that's good. In terms of the price point, you're getting good value at $15.99. I would just wish it was, you know, just a little bit saltier all around. Otherwise, not bad. 3.5 out of 5. Cheers, Fresh Baked. Let's finish this, and then, well, no, we're not going to get back to work. We're getting into the tip part. I was so chill at Docking Bay 7 eating my chicken that I forgot to record the tip board. So let's go. We're looking at the tip board. Alice in Wonderland, closed. Astro Orbiter 30 minutes, pretty standard. Autopia 40 minutes, that's a little high. Autopia, people are spilling out of the popular attractions most likely and getting into rides like Autopia and Astro Orbiter. Our return time, let's see, Big Thunder 30. Surprisingly low, shockingly low. I walked by there about an hour ago and I think it was 50 minutes, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe they had a breakdown and then they're cycling through. Return time in 5 hours, that's pretty high for Big Thunder, I'll say that. Buzz Lightyear 35, a little higher than average. Return time in just over an hour. Casey Jr., 25 minutes. They must be running just the one train. 2 trains, no problem. Gadgets at 20, slightly low. Gadgets at 20 minutes is slightly, this is a manageable day. Dumbo 40, maybe less so, I don't know. Good to see you. Oh, hey, thank you. Yeah, Dumbo's 40 minutes, Finding Nemo 30, Haunted Mansion 50. They were calling that 65 when we walked back before. Return time in 8 hours. Wow, okay, Indiana Jones, that's where we left it at 55 minutes. Return time in 8 hours. I'm actually kind of surprised that there's still reservations left of times available for Indiana Jones. That's the kind of attraction that usually will sell out by now on a busy day. Smart World's at 45, return time in just an hour. I mean, it's busy, but it's manageable. Jungle Cruise is a nice soft 30 minutes. At Tea Party, Winnie the Pooh's closed. That ride closed down way too much. Matterhorn, 45 minutes. Get in that queue at 45 minutes. I'm down. I'd wait 45 minutes for the Matterhorn. Return time in 3 hours, almost 4. Let's see, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway. Boy, that attraction has been getting more and more popular in terms of wait times as in the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 months. Because you used to be able to breeze through there pretty easily. I think it's because more people are using Lightning Lane. I mean, look at that return time, 9 hours. It's becoming a priority for people on Lightning Lane, and that's affecting standby. Because you used to be able to do Runaway Railway 30 minutes, no problem, often. I'm gonna have to take a study on that at some point. Check that out. Smugglers Run, 50 minutes. No, thank you. Hour plus return time. Toads, 30. Love it. Love to see Toads at 30. Peter Pan is at 40. That's pretty standard. Pinocchio, 25. Probably not. Pirates at 45. Probably not. Don't ever be afraid of pirates, you guys. Don't ever, ever, ever be afraid of pirates. As long as it's not on Lightning Lane, get in any queue you see. I mean, some are better than others, obviously, but it's never that long. It never is. Roger Rabbit, 40. Again, I mean, I would, if it really is 40, I would get in that because that's a discount. Roger Rabbit can take forever. 2.5 hours return time-ish. Snow White, 30. Space Mountain, 65, where it should be. Busy, busy, busy. Space Mountain, 65. Rope drop that sucker, you guys. Rope drop Space Mountain. Star Tours, 35. 110. I wonder how much life does Star Tours really have? People are still, I know there's a lot of people who like it. They swear by it. It's one of their favorite rides. But it's not, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm going down this road, but Rise is up to 65. No, it wasn't 65 when we walked by. I thought it was going to be 80, but it's not. By the way, purchase price is $29. I prefer that price. I think they should keep it at that price. That dissuades, they still make money. They're going to sell fewer, but they're still going to make 29 instead of 20. So it's $9 per guest who does do it, but it has a much less negative impact on standby. Storybook Land, 25. Let's see, Tiana's 45, nominal. Return time is 4 hours. So Lightning Lane is selling-ish today. And this is not terrible. This is fine. This day is fine. It's busy, lots of people in the park, lots of energy, lots of intensity, but the queues are definitely manageable. Well, I'm trying to go check out Millennium Man. It's busy up there on those steps. Look at that. Wow. Normally this common area is pretty quiet, but that is a popping crowd right here at the Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. We were looking at a 50-minute wait time when we were checking the tip board just a bit ago. And I'm gonna guess that that's gonna hold. I probably don't need to look at the windows. Yeah, there's a little, you can see the guests up there. They're moving actually. That must be, the point where they've loaded up a room. So they're not posted up against the window though. 45 minutes is now the current standby wait time. Soon, they need to get this thing into the Mandalorian and Grogu era soon, because I don't feel any motivation, any urgency, any desire to hit this attraction. I don't know why. Toads has never changed. Toads is practically the exact same attraction it was 70 years ago, and yet I would ride that every day. I would ride Toads every single day. I don't know, what is that dynamic? What is it about Smugglers Run that says no, I don't, because the reason why I don't want to go is because it's, I've been there, done that. Why is that a one-hit wonder? Well, not a one-hit wonder, but you get what I'm saying. Why do I feel less compelled to repeat the experience here? Why do I need a new story when I don't need a new story at Toads? I know it has something to do with the digital facet, the projection technology, but there's probably something else to that as well. Looks clear up there. Though, looks like not a very deep queue. Again, it was posted 45, it came down, so that's a sign that we may, things may be getting better here, although I just spotted the queue as we walked into that catwalk. There it is right there. No action or little action in Lightning Lane here. Okay, we found the back of the queue, by the way, so that is a pretty healthy queue. I will say that. They actually did just fill that up, because we walked by there. There was nobody on that part of the catwalk, but now there is, so it's getting busier. But not a lot of action here. I would say this is a no-go for me. I don't want any part of this. And now I'm thinking about it, I'm still trying to crack that code. I've watched Star Wars, the films 1,000 times, prequels too, but what if it is more than the Disney? What if it's the sequel trilogy? What if I'm not connecting with the sequel trilogy? What if this became a Star Wars themed, original trilogy themed attraction? Would that change? My God, I think it would. I mean, it's not like I don't like the sequel trilogy. And I didn't like the prequel trilogy at first. When those films came, I was excited about them when they came out, but over time I became less enthusiastic about them, and then over more time I became more enthusiastic. I will watch the prequel trilogy way more often than I would the sequel trilogy. Clearly, I think that might be it. I think it's a combination of the digital tech that sort of suggests and promises multiple experiences. Plus, I just don't know if people are connecting with the large preponderance of guests here are connecting with the sequel trilogy theme. I don't know, man. I feel like that could be it. I mean, it is really, really bitching that they managed to put a Millennium Falcon here in the middle of Disneyland. It's an incredible accomplishment, if you ask me. And again, though, I'm happy to see that this is a very healthy crowd out here in this common area at Galaxy's Edge. We often find this to be quite chill, quite quiet. This part of the park is usually always less intense than the rest of Disneyland is. Now, I promised to talk about that new Magic Key. You guys may or may not have heard, Disney has announced, we did a whole video on this on Fresh Baked Presents, they announced that they're going to end the Enchant Key. There are 4 magic keys right now. There's the Inspire, Believe, Enchant, and Imagine. Enchant and Imagine are the 2 lower tiers. Inspire and Believe are the 2 higher tiers. Enchant is being discontinued effective, oh gosh, I forget, January something? Yeah, January something. And they're going to retire the Enchant Key and bring in the Explore Key. With that Explore Key, the value proposition, the value add that Disney's proposing for that new key is more dates in June. That's pretty much it. Everything else about the 2 keys are the same. They're just proposing more dates in June. So we ask, why are they doing this? Why do they do that? Apart from adding the dates in June. They wanted to do that because the last few summers here have been dreadful, attendance-wise, and I've noted that year over year. Every time I come here during the summer, I just can't believe it. Summer used to be the season. That used to be the time to come to Disneyland, or one of them. That and Christmas, obviously. So summer has become a non-date for a lot of guests. Disney's trying to stimulate that. So so in doing that, they can't just add those dates to the Enchant Key and say, well, here you go, Enchant Key. They're not doing that. And it's not the $25 either. There is a $25 increase. I don't think they're doing it for the $25 either. That's just sort of a cherry on top. I felt like they were just trying to create more energy, more excitement about Magic Keys, trying to do a new and improved type thing. It's something that is very common in marketing, where you just change the logo, you change the brand a little bit, you make it so that it's just different somehow, and it reintroduces you to the product. And that still is, I believe, a large part of the reason why they're doing that. But somebody commented in the video that we did on Fresh Baked Presents, and it was really a brilliant comment, a brilliant observation, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't think about it myself, but they can't, just like they can't just add those dates to Enchant Key, well, on that topic, I should say. And the reason is, I don't know how to explain this correctly, but there is, if you do that, then some Enchant Key owners are going to have a better value than others, if you depending on when you buy in. So in order to add those dates, they actually have to terminate. They have to terminate the key. They have to stop selling one, and then make the change, and then start selling the new one. It's necessary in order to resolve the value deficit between those people who bought Enchant Key. Let's say you bought your Enchant Key last May, right? And you've already gone through your summer, and it's going to expire before you get into the summer. You have lost your opportunity to get, you don't get that value. Hey, how are you? So you have to create a cutoff. Hey guys, you have to create a cutoff in order to eliminate that value deficit. So that's actually it. So really, it's simply about taking down the Enchant Key and adding the Explore Key isn't about money. It isn't about them trying to extract more. Although I will say, if somebody said, "Is this good for Disney or is it good for us?" I would say on the big picture, it's neither. It's neither. But in the small picture, house always wins. You know what I mean? They're not going to just give stuff away. The house always wins. Disney's I'm sure they're going to come out a little bit ahead on this proposition. Maybe it's $25 or maybe not. I'm not sure. We don't even know what the date is. We don't even know what the actual dates are. We haven't seen a calendar yet for a blockout calendar for that pass for the new Explore Key. But I think they're just trying to stimulate more attendance in summer, and in order to do that, you've got to end that Enchant Key early enough where there is no value deficit, and then they start selling the new key. That's my thoughts on that. You can also watch our video on Fresh Baked Presents if you care to. I go into a little more detail and a little bit more explanation about the marketing side of things, which is still very valid. I don't think they're getting the business that they want from Magic Keys. I've been maintaining that for a while, and I think that's still the case. They just can't decide how much they want to be in love with Magic Keys, because we are the undesirable guest, as it was so famously said not long ago. We are the guests they would rather have nothing but single day ticket holders in here. But alas, that's not going to be the case. They can't survive on that alone. And that brings us to a very healthy Fantasyland right now, having a little difficulty making our way through. It's busy. Hi guys. You know, let's pop over here real quick. I'm gonna see if I can't frogger my way through here. There we go. We saw 25 minutes for Casey Jr. and that looks like a 25-minute queue, maybe more, if it's just one train, which I think it is because I have not seen a second train. I saw one take off from the station just a minute ago, and if that were the case, there should be another one here if there were two. The second train would already be here, so they are running just one train right now. We saw a 40-minute queue for Dumbo, and that is probably the case here. It is back here in the bonus section. They're using most of it. It's not completely full, so it's not, I mean, it's not 100% the full capacity, but this is going to be a very, what do you want to call it? Kind of excruciating queue to sit in because you have to wait 3 or 4 minutes before you move at all. You just stand there like they are right now, posted, waiting for the next rotation, then you move forward, and then it's kind of a grind. It's one of the reasons why I don't like queues that, you know, rotational queues like this and like Astro Orbiter, you know, anything where they have to send a batch, and then, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like those myself, but they're still quicker than any kind of lightning lane. That's still preferable. This is still going to go quicker than. Hey, how's it going? You too. Thank you, appreciate it. It's still going to go quicker than any lightning lane queue. And we'll just stop here for a second and notice the amount of traffic happening here outside the carousel. How's it going? Always be mindful, man. Wow. All right. Let's pick our heads up, and there's Pinocchio. It was at 25. I don't think so. It's not a discount for Pinocchio, but I don't think that's 25 minutes either. Maybe 15, 20. Wow, Snow White is happening. I need to do a little recon to figure out what it is exactly like at this sign right here. Is it 25 minutes? Probably. That's pretty healthy, man. I've measured it once before. These switchbacks. It's like 8 minutes inside. Once you get past the dungeon, it's like 8 minutes there. Maybe a minute and a half in the dungeon. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes out here in this switchback. So what are we at now? We're at like 15 minutes. 2 minutes there. Maybe not. It's not 25. It's probably less than that. Probably 20. Maybe 18 minutes from this point is my guess. For real, like actual. I'm a little surprised though to see Peter Pan. Look at that. We're a chain down. There's nobody in the inner one. They've extended it out here, but that's empty. 3 chains down, 4 switchbacks down here. That is an absolute discount here at Peter Pan. This is a definite go situation. If you ever see a queue where these chains are empty, and maybe even that chain right there, if you see that, absolute win for you. Get in that queue. Let's keep moving though. Go check out on Toads, which I would ride 1,000 times. I'll ride Toads 1,000 times before you put me. Smugglers Run, man. Okay. And I'll do it again. All right, Toads is actually, oh wow. Toads is busier than Peter Pan, relatively speaking. Where Toads' queue is usually inside the threshold, inside this gate, this queue is popping out, although they haven't yet flexed into these chains here, so they're probably going to do that next. They need to flex those in, but that's posted at 25. That's about right. You want Toads to act like any other dark ride here in Fantasyland compared to, let's say, Snow White or Pinocchio or even Alice. But the difference between Toads and it actually compares more equally to Peter Pan than any others. 2 seats. Snow White, you can get 4 or 5 people in a vehicle. Pinocchio, same. Even Alice in Wonderland, 4 or 5 people. You can get 2 people, maybe 3 if you really squeeze them in there. So that's why. So that actually it's half. That's half the capacity of 3 of the other dark rides. So it does go. Even though it looks like it shouldn't be as long, it actually is longer because of that capacity limitation. What about the Mad Tea Party? Looks busy. This is still a go though. I know it looks hairy, looks scary, We're still waiting for the back of the queue. I think that's it right here. Oh, they're loading. Let's see how teal's doing. That's the back of the queue right there. Sneak in here real quick. The last cup being taken is orange. Orange is last right there. So teal did not have to take a back seat on this rotation at Mad Tea Party. And I still maintain that nobody picks teal. That's always the last one, not always. Orange was this time. Almost always, teal is the last cup pick. There's some psychological reason why that is. Justice for teal. My goodness. What about Alice though? Wow. Okay, I haven't shown you yet. Alice is posted at 20. That is not true. I mean, it's like 10, 15 minutes from this point, from this sign point. 10 or 15 minutes typically. They're calling it 20. But they may need to update that because it does, when it's busy, it starts to wrap around the mushroom. The old ticket booth. That's where they used to take tickets for the mushroom, or for the Alice in Wonderland attraction. But look how this, we still haven't found the back of the queue. This is not, oh man, nasty. Whew. Yeah, that's another 15 minutes there. From here, maybe 10 or 15 minutes from here to that posted, that sign out there in the front where the chains start. It's probably 15 minutes to get there. Wow, wow, wow. All the way back to the restrooms almost. But don't be scared. I'm telling you, don't be scared. You see that, get in it still. If you want to ride Alice, that's no big deal. Especially compared to what, you know, the rest of the park is doing right now. There are no discounts today. I said that at the beginning of the show. There are no true discounts. There are queues that are going to be shorter than others, but you're not going to get anything, you're not going to find a situation where like it's absurdly low. It's just not going to happen today. Not here at Alice, not anywhere. That's still a go for me. And normally I will say that the same is true for Storybook Land. I am seeing though a very, well, okay, no, I thought that was Q for a second because they were all kind of single file, but they're coming in from Small World. Back the queue is right there. That's good. Storybook Land looks like it's going to be intense. Looks like it's going to take forever because the queue gets so tightly packed. It's very narrow. You need to make friends with everybody in the queue basically. But this goes way quicker than you think it would. Especially if they've got, hi guys, especially at this point in the day when they're running max boats. They'll get through this. This queue's 20 minutes, 25 minutes maybe. I think we're gonna skip Small World for now. I wanna go check, oh my gosh. Man, I want to go check out the Fantasyland Theater because we got news here. You've probably already seen this. We've been talking about it on Fresh Baked Presents and on our construction report. Look at this scene here. Okay, so we're arriving when they're doing the Santa Claus meet and greet type thing for the holiday season. This is way more people than we typically find out here. Matter of fact, I think I want to go walk down there. I want to see what it's like on the floor down there. It's set up now for the holidays, for Christmas. It's similar to what they've done for Pixar Fest. There's Santa right there. And then there's a couple picture opportunities. There's one here, and there's another one up there. And the Goofy against the snow hill there. This is a very popular situation. It looks like everybody, though, is trying to meet Santa, and they're not really trying to get pictures. Look for this scene, though, to transform in March after Celebrate Soulfully. This scene is going to become a Bluey show. And I think it's a permanent addition, at least, outside of the seasonal. They might change this over back to, for Christmas, perhaps. It's one of those shows, the way they set these up now, they can take them up and bring them down. Bluey is going to be here in March. Now, we saw that casting call. We were wondering, we thought maybe the casting call was for here, but we didn't know what it was. Then I thought it might be Golden Horseshoe. Then I was back to, because I had heard some things. I didn't know specifics, but I heard, no, it's Fantasyland Theater. And the result is, yes, it's going to be the Bluey show. What that show is going to be, I don't know. But it's, I feel like they said in the announcement it's going to run to the end of the year. Well, run to the end of the holiday, until the holiday season at least. Maybe they keep it, maybe they don't, but it's going to be here for a while. It's not going to be a seasonal situation. It's not going to be here for just a couple of months. We're looking at least 7 months is my guess. And that, oh my gosh, look at the train go. The queue has, usually you gotta curl this. That's the back of the queue right there, I think. This is madness. Hi guys, this queue is officially in wild space. They need gotta get a cast member out here and send this queue down the rail, because that's just uncontrolled. Who knows where that is? The guest built queue right there. This is 100% guest constructed. Look at that. Here's the back of the queue for this thing too. Every time I come through here, I'm like, I cannot believe how popular that photo booth is. For whatever reason, people, there's 50 people. No, maybe not 50. 20 people. That's a lot. I do though love to see the Disneyland Railroad get its flowers. That, you know, when I see a huge queue at any of the stations, it makes me happy because, you know, I feel like people forget about attractions like that. They forget about the old school attractions like the train or the monorail, or, you know, even Pirates. Pirates is never going to die. But, you know, dark rides, Casey, that kind of thing. When I see people lining up for those rides, it makes me really, really happy because it reinforces my belief that it's not about technology. The rides are not about building the biggest, newest thing. Not here at Disneyland. I mean, you can let those other parks figure out all the technological advancements and this and that. Disney's doing just fine with basic analog entertainment, and it's wonderful to see people choosing that. Looks like they're choosing Toontown. Oh boy, this is going to be an adventure. All right, we made it through. Let's go check in on Roger Rabbit. If I can. There we go, maybe. We saw a 40-minute queue on the tip board earlier. I thought, well, if that's real, that's a go. Oh, well, we're not going to be able to find out. They have closed it. They've gone so far as to close both doors. And there's a Roger Rabbit sticking sized hole, a Roger Rabbit sized hole in that door. Down. That means that Runaway Railway is probably going to be worse than we expected. It was already at 55 minutes. I'm betting we find that queue sticking out of the threshold, is my guess. Let's see. There it is, right there. Yep, line starts here.
Hello, Fresh Face.
Hey, how are you guys? That's nasty. Yeah, you're looking at an hour here. That's an hour. I can't even go in to find the back of the queue because, well, the back of the queue is right there. So I'm surprised though that they don't do this. It's been a long time since I've seen them put the stanchions up out here and build the switchbacks. Maybe it's because I guess maybe it interferes with guests being able to do this kind of thing. But I just feel like it's better crowd management to have them here than sticking out and blocking traffic out there. They're calling, oh my gosh, 75 minutes they're calling that. It's probably not, but that might be the biggest number I've ever seen for Runaway Railway. His attraction has grown in popularity. And it's funny because when they first opened it, I was so gung-ho. I was so like, man, Runaway Railway is amazing. It's probably my favorite attraction. It's climbing the charts quickly. It's exactly the kind of ride that Walt would have built. Walt would love Runaway Railway. He would absolutely love it. And other people were like, no, it sucks. It's stupid. And I'm like, how can you say that? But I think people are coming around. How's it going? My goodness, it's becoming so popular, and lightning lanes are selling out like we were talking about on the tip board earlier. People are loving Runaway Railway today, and I am very happy for that as well. And it's amazing that here we are, I don't know how many years later after Toontown finished its refurb, and it was complete zoo, complete bonkers when it first opened. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a transformation, and it's still like this. People love Toontown. They did a great job with Toontown. I don't know why I'm talking about this years later. I'm just feeling it right now. I'm feeling Toontown. It's so great. I love what they've done here. Okay, so that's Minnie's house. Let's see if I can't. I don't know. Okay, that's queue over there. So Minnie's is posted at 60. That's not a 60-minute queue normally. Normally that'd be like a 45. I wonder if there's, well, it's not like they can have multiple or fewer Mickey or Minnies. That's kind of shocking to see a 60-minute wait there. I hope it's not. There's Minnie down there. I much prefer when they have Minnie meet out here than in there. This lets you just go through the house if you want. If you want, you can bypass the actual Minnie meet and just go see the house, then cut it, right? I mean, that's what I would do. Like Mickey's house, we're not going to go in. It's probably also posted 60 minutes. I don't need to meet Mickey. I just want to see his cool house. I want to see Minnie's cool house. Gadgets, that's posted at 30. Actually, this is one of the more discounted attractions we've seen today. Usually 30 minutes is about the frog. That frog right through there, I don't know if I can see it from here. Right there, that frog right there. Usually that's about, well, no, not 30. I think oh gosh, maybe it was 20. I can't remember now, but I measured it from the frog. Maybe Chip's butt is 30 minutes. Chip's butt is 30. Quick peek at Goofy's How to Play Yard. This is madness in here on a regular basis. Absolute madness this place is. Keep a close eye on your children when you bring them in here. Sophie has gotten away from me so many times. If you just get distracted even for a minute, it's man, it's terrifying. I have looked up for my phone after just a couple minutes, and wow, and she's like, I couldn't see her right away. I mean, she hadn't gone anywhere. I just couldn't see her right away. She hadn't run off. She was playing where she was supposed to be playing. But when you can't see your child immediately, man, it's panic. Absolute panic. All right. We still haven't done Small World yet, so we're gonna try to see if we can. I feel like it's getting busier. At least, I mean, Fantasyland's a whole different animal. It's funny how Fantasyland transforms during the holidays. It becomes the place to be, especially Fantasyland B back here. This is just kind of nuts right now. And I don't know how to, oh boy. Okay, I don't know how to get in there. Okay, here we go. Hi guys, hi. They got ropes up, but we found our gap. Fantasyland, very popular, even in the afternoon right now. Even at, let's see, what time is it? 1:54, posted 50. It's gonna be more than that. I'm sorry to report. That is not a 50-minute queue. That is closer to 60, 65 is my guess. They filled up the chains out here. They're all the way out, man. They're using 100% of this queue. 100%, they're all the way to the right. And obviously they're using everything in between. That's easily an hour, probably closer to 70 is my guess for Small World. Isn't that fantastic? Again, I love seeing people choose. I mean, it's the holiday overlay, obviously, and you're not gonna see a queue like this for a regular Small World, but I don't care. I love seeing people choose this way. There's nothing, forward about this attraction. It's not at all digitally advanced or anything. It's the most basic lo-fi attraction that you can possibly find here. Even the animatronics are simple. There's something to be said for a simple animatronic. I don't need the fancy, Gen whatever animatronics. I'm telling you, the auctioneer on Pirates is fine. That's like as advanced as I need it to be. It's almost, I would almost rather that in the sense that it keeps me, I don't know, it's like reading a book instead of watching a movie. If that makes sense. I don't want it to be too perfect. I like being able to fill in the blanks. I like being able to use my imagination instead of just having everything, expressed to me 100% literally. I'm just full of tangents and rants today, aren't I? I'm just full of it today. Hi. All right, Matterhorn is next, where we saw an incredibly impossible, what was it, 35, 40 something at Matterhorn? 45 it was, I think, and I said I would get in that queue. Let's see if I would get in the queue that we find. And they're calling, oh my goodness, they're calling, okay, I can see from here, you cannot, but they're calling it 40. I can't even get over there. They've got it roped off. They're crowd controlling this. There's the monorail. Never say no to the monorail though, that's for sure. It was posted 40 out there, but they're in wild space. The back of the queue is left containment. The back of the queue is out here in wild space. Right here, that's it. I think that's it there. Pizza Planet, maybe. That's the back. Yeah, that's the back of Standby. And they're using all of the trees. All the trees. Hi guys, I can see you. They're using all the trees. They're using tree lamp. Okay, maybe it's because they haven't run it to extended 1 and 2, which would be shocking. Absolutely shocking. Why wouldn't you? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that busy earlier. But they're extending this direction, but no, I think that's it. They're extended 1 only. Wow. This is extended 1. And then this section right here is extended 2. They need to open this up like immediately. And I think we did this last time where we sat here and watched, and they'll do it. But they get, yeah, because they're out there in wild space. Fair enough. Not a minute later is cast member out here doing a little chain maintenance. She's gonna grow that queue and get all that wild space stuff out of there. Hi guys. Let's see. Oh man, it's getting worse. Look at that though, they straightened out. Oh man, that might be the longest that I've ever seen the back of the queue. It's out here into the walkway now. That is, they need to do a lot more than extend those chains, although they may have to go to extended 3, which is very rare. So they're gonna, because extended 2 will take up, let's see, probably maybe to that tree right there, maybe, that's about it. So it's still gonna be out here loose and into wild space. And I would be shocked. Hey guys. Good, good. We'll go check and see if it's still 40 minutes. It would be crazy if it were. I cannot believe on a day like this, as busy, you were just asking for people to show up to your queue, posting Matterhorn at 40. You were just asking, it's still 40. Guys, you created a monster. Hi guys, how are you? Hi. You're creating a monster by doing that. You're creating a situation where everybody wants to get here because this is right now, 40 minutes is such a discount for Matterhorn, considering how busy it is. It's a perceived discount, but it's not really, because it's probably an hour, maybe more. My goodness. So she's done. That was the cast member that was doing the chain maintenance back there. I would say run that thing to extended 3 also. I know she's done it because this chain is now moving briskly, but it's a phantom. It's a mirage, as I often say. It makes you feel like you're doing something, but you're not. They've just made the queue bigger, and now you're filling in that extra space. She did run it, no, did she run it to 3? No, she didn't, okay. I thought maybe she did, I saw some guests down there. But yeah, so 2 is open, they've already filled it. It's almost already full. It's just gonna be a blip. They need to run out here to extended 3, get some stanchions going out here. Although it's not ideal, obviously, because it creates a traffic issue here. Man, I'm just loading you guys up on queue theory. Queue theory rants and magic key to conversations. Man, what a day this has been, what a show. And that is 2:05 as I arrived at Finding Nemo, which looks to be a very manageable situation. This is one attraction that we've seen so far today, maybe 1 or 2 Chippendales, and that's about it, where we've not seen a huge impact from the crowds in the typical standby situation for Nemo. This is what you normally find. This is a very normal looking queue, not a busy day queue, a very normal looking queue. I'm kind of shocked. 20 minutes posted. If you're here today, get in the Finding Nemo queue. I understand that's nonsensical. You guys, I'm fully aware of the fact that you are not here today as you watch this, or maybe you are, maybe 1 or 2 of you are, but I'm just saying, if you find a queue like that in the future, on a day like today, get in the queue. That's all I'm saying. Moving right along through Tomorrowland to find Autopia. Oh, did I get out? I got it. I didn't get in the queue. Oh, here we go. We got a gap. I thought I got chained out. It's posted 20. That's kind of a surprise. Also, dude, this is very normal. Get in the Autopia queue. It is absolutely bonkers out there. 20 minutes, they're in the rotunda, maybe 2 of the risers back there. That's a dream for this kind of day. You absolutely want to be enjoying this queue. And then all 4 lanes are open, so that's good. It's just, the streets are full. The streets are very full. This is way busier than we normally find it in Tomorrowland. My goodness. Wow. Okay, I can see here it's posted 55, which is, I mean, not exceptional for Space Mountain. Kind of standard. I cannot walk though, you guys. I literally cannot walk. My goodness. How's the Alien Pizza Planet doing? 1 table. And take care. Hi guys. 1 table is open down here at Alien Pizza Planet. It's the food, man. On these days, on these busy days, The queues are survivable, but it's the food. Getting your food and then finding a place to sit down and eating that food is a huge challenge. And that posted 55-minute window or wait time is out the window. Or what? No, you're looking at 65, maybe 70. Finding the back of the queue out here, outside the door. I mean, it's not over there. Sometimes they run it. We've been seeing it out there in recent past. I mean, this is no discount, but that's not 55. The door is 60 minimum, and you might do better than that. I mean, I don't think so, man. That's a solid 70 minutes right there. And you just make that choice, man. People just know what you're getting into. You see this queue, this is not ideal. If you come up here, here's the thing, and we talked about this in our one tip video. Part of the reason why this queue gets like this is because it's such a trip just to get here. You have to walk such a ways just to find the back of that queue, and by the time you get up here, you're just like, screw it. You know, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I might as well just go for it. But you can't say no. You can't. I see people walk out down below, but I don't often see people walking out from here. But you can. There is an escape. You can exit. There's openings right there. See that? There's an opening right there, and you can just walk out. This is for this. That's why this exists. This is an emergency exit point, basically, for the queue. I'm almost positive. I mean, Disney never came out and said it, but they started building this pre-COVID. I don't know if you guys remember. This was one of the open construction projects when we were doing our construction reports pre-COVID, before they closed the parks. And it was the first place I went when they reopened. It was one of the first places. Did they finish the stairs? This is brand new, is what I'm saying. These stairs are pretty much brand new, and I'm almost positive that they did it so I can do just exactly what I did. Meanwhile, single rider for Space Mountain, while a discount from standby, you're not gonna be 70 minutes, that's still a lengthy queue. That's probably 30 minutes or so at least, I think, for single rider. Winding things down here a bit, Fresh Baked. We're getting close to the finish line. We're gonna close out Tomorrowland with a look at this usual pinch point right here. This always gets a little nuts. Pretzel queue is pretty lengthy. That's about 10 or 15 minutes to get a pretzel. Churro queue, that's not bad. I've seen worse. 10 minutes to get a churro. Good news from Star Tours. It's not in detention. When those doors are closed, that's an automatic go. If those doors are closed, get in that queue. That's a go situation for Star Tours. And look how swiftly that queue is moving too while we're at it. Not only is it short, but it's moving quite briskly. So this should be nothing more than a 15-minute queue. They're calling it 10. I said nothing more than 15, but they're actually calling it 10. Amazing. We saw 35 on the tip board not long ago. Meanwhile, across the way, Buzz Lightyear. Now that's a completely different situation. That's posted 30. You got a group here for Lightning Lane. Back of the queue for Lightning Lane is out the door. They're at the threshold. That's not good. Standby is out here in Wild Space a little bit. So you're looking at a full-size wait so far. Only question is, are they in Pixie Hollow? And are they over there by that construction walls? If they're not, then this is a go. If they're not, this is a pretty standard queue, one that you can easily manage. And I feel like that's where things have been going in the last, half an hour or so? Yeah, they're going into Pixie Hollow a little bit, but it's moving pretty good. That's actually pretty brisk, but they're not here, which is good. That's a relief. And we've almost come completely full circle. Let me know if you guys have made it this far. If you've made it to the hub, say hi. I'll try to say hi back. Looks pretty busy here still though. Hi guys. In this hub-like situation. Very alive crowd. Hi guys. Very alive crowd. Let's see if we can't sneak through here a bit. Looks like they're getting ready for a parade. Is the 3 o'clock coming? It is 2:17, so yes, the 3 o'clock parade is going to be here soon. You know what? I'll go left. How about that? Okay. I'll go left. Say hi to Walt and Mickey. Hi, guys. Thank you for this wonderful place. I cherish you.
All right, so.
Okay. There we go. Wow. Look at that. That is so Disney right there. Right there? That's like original. What we're looking at right there. Amazing. Incredible. It's almost unchanged. You look at old photos, almost unchanged. Every now and then, I feel the need to pause and reflect and think, just how much restraint. There is progress here at Disneyland. You know, things happen, things go digital, this and that, new attractions, but they still show so much restraint and respect for the original, you know, Disneyland that I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful, and I feel like that's something that you won't find in any other Disneyland park. This, for whatever reason, this one is a little bit more sacred, for obvious reasons. Which brings us to our last destination, Big Thunder, looking full as heck back there. They're using all of that queue over there by Rancho. Are they into, remember we saw them 2 weeks ago, they were into the old Fast Pass station. And it looks like they are. The ropes are up and the people are moving through it. It's not full, but they did actually put the queue into the Fast Pass station. That's never a good look. Posted 60. Yeah, you might get to 60 with this queue, but it'll probably come under. Maybe 50 is more likely. No action here, by the way, at Lightning Lane. Just a couple of guests there at this point. So yeah, you're not getting a lot of influence from Lightning Lane, which is good for standby. I'm not crazy though about seeing people sitting on those rocks right there. That is not good. You definitely don't want to see people sitting on rocks. Watch our video that we just published, the one single tip. Get into that a lot. We evaluate the validity of that observation and how it affects what kind of experience you're going to have when you're at the park, and how you can, if you can make those kind of observations, it helps you, it adds more information to your decision. Maybe Big Thunder is not a queue for you right now. Maybe you don't want to be getting into Big Thunder right now because that looked unmovable. Look at that. Nowhere else in the world. Nowhere else in the world are you going to get a scene like that right now. Took us all day to find this scene too, didn't it? Wow. Get on the Mark Twain, you guys. It's a little fuller than we saw it last time. Get on the Mark Twain. Oh, the top deck is closed, that's why. Top deck is closed. Texas deck? I think that's the Texas deck. Still though. Get on the Mark Twain. And thank you guys for watching. That is our State of Disneyland report. What a day, man! This was a rich, heavy, like you're getting your hours plus worth here. I don't even know where we're at right now. We're at probably an hour 20 is my guess. A very dense show today for this time, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. You know what I don't ever do? I'm going to do this now, although you probably already know about it. Follow us on our socials. I never talk about that anymore. Instagram, _FreshBaked. Twitter, FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E. And then you can support us on Patreon, obviously. And on our other channels, Fresh Baked Presents, we're doing news stories from the desk, tours departing daily, where we're doing acoustic videos. Just me walking around with the camera, not talking, no talking. Just the camera, you, and the park. Do all those things, watch everything, and engage with Fresh Baked, and also obviously our app, freshbakedpresents.com, where you can share photos from around the park and engage with us there as well. I thank you guys for watching. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.